Many people believe that they are healthy as long as they eat healthily. This, however, is not always the case. Not all foods are beneficial to your health. Some meals may appear tasty and fill you up, yet they provide no health advantages. Know which meals are excellent for you and your general health to stay healthy. Most of the time, people would put more focus on keeping their physical health in excellent condition. Some individuals research diet programs that will give their bodies the needed nutrients and vitamins to stay healthy. They will also do physical exercises to stay fit. But the brain also needs to be in good health at all times. Keep in mind that an unhealthy brain will not bring you a well-functioning mind. When speaking of health, the brain is among the top priorities for many people. Some wanted to make sure that their brain is in good health so they can achieve sharp thinking and focus. The brain is important in the overall activities that a person does every day. When the brain is not functioning well, it cannot command the other parts of the body to work properly. Therefore, it is important to nourish the brain with foods that will help in keeping it healthy. People who would want to have good brain activity will research foods that are good for the brain. This is to keep it healthy and properly functioning. There are tons of brain foods that people can eat. They can even include these brain-healthy foods in their daily diet. Nuts, broccoli, fatty fish, berries, coffee, turmeric, dark chocolate, oranges, and eggs are just a few of the foods that are good for the brain. These foods can easily be taken every day. Some would even focus on having meals that have brain foods to ensure that they are feeding it with the best nutrients. As there are brain foods, also be aware that there are foods that can bring harm to your brain. If you can include brain-healthy foods in your daily diet, then you should also be conscious enough to avoid taking brain-harmful foods. There are quite a few foods that can impede your brain's activity and productivity. Knowing these can help you protect your brain and keep it in good condition all the time. These are the following foods that are harmful to the brain. Sugary products. Anything that has an excessive amount of sugar can be bad for the brain. Long-term and unnecessary intake of sugar can cause neurological harm to a person. It has adverse effects on memory and the ability to learn. That's why professional essay writers never eat products that contain much sugar when they work on assignments. Too much intake of soda, fruit juices, cakes, and other baked goods are not only harmful to the brain but can also give problems to your weight. Aside from problems with brain functions, sugary products can also lead to other health problems like obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure. Moderate and occasional intake of these products is fine. But it will be better if these are avoided. Processed foods. Everyone loves foods that are easy to cook or ready to eat. But for the brain, processed foods are unhealthy. These have high contents of sugar, salt, and fats. They are rich in calories but low in nutrients. The excessive amount of fats these foods contain can damage the brain tissue. This then promotes the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Other negative effects to the brain include loss of memory and slowing down of brain activity. Examples of processed foods are chips, sweets, ready-made meals, canned meats, and instant noodles. Alcohol. Alcohol has always been known as an unhealthy drink. There is nothing good that you can get from drinking alcohol. High amounts of alcohol intake can affect the brain's balance. It will cause confusion and slowness of brain activity. So, alcohol is often called brain fog as it blurs out one's thinking and awareness. Trans fats. Eating foods with an excessive amount of trans fats can have a harmful effect on the brain. It can have negative effects on the reflexes of your brain. It will also slow down the responsiveness of the person. When eating foods with trans fats is continued for a long time, it can decrease the size of the brain and may lead to Alzheimer's disease. Aside from the damages it can bring to the brain, excessive intake of trans fats can lead to heart disease and obesity. To avoid intake of trans fats, stop yourself from eating foods like baked goods, microwavable popcorn, fried foods, non-dairy coffee creamer, and many others. Too much salt. Salt is fine when taken in minimal to moderate amounts. But when you eat foods with too much salt, this causes health problems, particularly to the brain. It may cause harmful effects on your cognitive thinking where you can experience decreased brain reflexes and difficulties in focusing. Too much salt can affect your intelligence. Also, eating foods with too much salt can pose other health problems, such as heart problems and increased blood pressure. Examples of foods with too much salt include smoked and cured meats, frozen meals, canned goods, salted nuts, and a lot more. Junk foods. Just like alcohol, junk foods do not offer any health benefits. These contain high levels of fats and salt. Both have negative effects on the brain. It triggers depression and anxiety, especially in those who consume lots of junk foods every day. It can affect the person's alertness, learning capacity, and memory. Hence, when you have to write a custom term paper, give preference to fruits that are better snacks. Nicotine. Though this is not food, it is still being inhaled into the body. Nicotine is harmful to the overall health of a person. Its addictive feature makes it difficult to quit smoking. Therefore, addiction and loss of control are often associated with nicotine smoking. But more than that, nicotine also poses harmful effects to the brain. Addiction to nicotine affects the production of neurotransmitters. This can then tighten the tiny blood vessels and capillaries and give problems to the brain activity and functions. There are tons of health problems that one can get from nicotine, such as lung cancer, respiratory problems, heart problems, premature aging, and many others. Preservatives and artificial ingredients. Anything artificial has gone through lots of procedures that can contain toxins and harmful elements. This is why a lot of food companies aim to provide only natural products. But those who take in large amounts of preservatives and artificial ingredients can experience a lot of health problems, particularly to the brain. Excessive consumption of these can affect a person's cognitive thinking. It can also cause brain damage. The common preservatives and artificial ingredients that many people use are non-natural sweeteners, food colors, and artificial flavors. Caffeine. Many people love coffee. It is among the favorite drinks of many individuals. Though drinking coffee can bring beneficial effects to the brain as it helps in keeping it alert and functioning well, excessive coffee intake is not recommended. Caffeine can be good only if taken in minimal amounts. Anything taken in excess is not good. Too much caffeine can cause the brain to continue working and avoid rest. This can make the brain become exhausted and work inefficiently. It can also cause caffeine addiction. As they say, everything in moderation is the perfect serving. The foods listed above can be taken in small amounts, so they will not bring too much damage to the brain. But when your intake gets over the average, then the brain suffers from its negative effects. Though there are foods that help in keeping the brain healthy and functioning well, avoiding unhealthy foods for the brain will still be important. It is part of taking care of your brain. Changing your diet to achieve better brain health is necessary. This will require you to avoid foods that are harmful to the brain. Healthy practices will help you achieve the utmost brain health. And this includes avoiding foods that can harm your brain and intelligence. Overall, health is not just about having a strong and fit body. It is also about having a good immune system, properly functioning senses, great-looking skin and hair, and most of all, a high-functioning and productive brain. This is why it is important to feed on good and healthy foods so you can absorb the nutrients and vitamins that you will need to be in good condition at all times. They say that you are what you eat. When it comes to the brain, how it performs reflects on how you nourish it. Brain health is important for everyone, especially those who think a lot. If you enjoyed this video, kindly press the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, so that you don't miss out on videos like this. Thank you for watching.